been this very hot topic recently over the apparently a while. For me, this has only been like this past week that I've been really hearing about it, but this Lindsay Clancy case. I actually don't know too much about the case itself other than this woman murdered her 3 kids 3 years ago, and she's gotten like almost $1 million out of people supporting her, which is also fucked up. But I want to get the details of the case.
So this is a rather interesting case that's happened. Another case of infanticide. Been a lot more of those. A GoFundMe for Lindsay Clancy's parents raises over $700,000 amid murder trial. The campaign seeks to raise $2 million for Michael and Paula Musgrove as they support their daughter who's accused of killing her 3 children. So let's actually have a wee look into this story because it's gotten really, really interesting, and women are kind of telling on themselves a little bit.
Yes.
Pardon. A GoFundMe for the parents of Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts mother accused of strangling her 3 children to death in 2023, has raised more than $700,000 at press time. Michael and Paula Musgrove are the beneficiaries of the GoFundMe campaign titled the Musgrove Family Fund. According to the description, it's intended to provide financial help to Clancy's parents for the travel, lodging and living costs they've incurred over the past 3 years and their continued support of their daughter through the ongoing trial. The couple, originally from Connecticut, relocated to Massachusetts so they can be close to their daughter and attend her court proceedings. The campaign, verified by GoFundMe, seeks $2 million.
So it's not even for her? I didn't really know much about this other than this bitch murdered her kids because she's psychotic. And then this campaign was raising money for her. I mean, I'm sure the parents would probably give her money if she gets freed and help pay for the lawyer costs and all those different details that go into it. But it's technically for them. I wouldn't give money to somebody who murders their own kids regardless. But then I don't see the point of giving money to the family. I know it's supposed to be an act of charity, but I just don't trust these things. There are very few charities. Actually, there's like no charities. I don't trust charities. I have been on the internet long enough. I have seen way too many charity scams, okay? I've seen too many GoFundMe scams as well. I don't really trust these things, and except for extreme circumstances where I'm like, I looked into it myself and I'm like, okay, this checks out. The only ones I've ever donated to was Shiloh Hendrix. I donated some shekels to Shiloh Hendrix twice. Once last year when the thing kicked off, and then once recently since she was almost charged. Well, it wasn't really charged. Well, she was kind of charged, if I remember correctly, but I know she's got to go appeal through the process for disorderly conduct. Which, I mean, that her case, it was clear as day what was happening. Everything's on video. There's no and ifs or buts about it. It's a freedom of speech thing. Not murdering her fucking children. Okay, she's actually trying to protect her children there from the NWAs. There's a vast difference there. My point is, I do not trust charities. I do not trust GoFundMes. I don't give my money to people unless it's something very dear to me that I believe is a very black and white issue, whether or not they're innocent. I'm not going to give my money to the family of a possible psychotic murderer. Okay, I'm not saying it's completely their fault that she went insane, because if we're going to be using the defense that the court is trying to use about the whole postpartum depression, it's technically not their fault, but it's still like, you think the money would go to her and not the parents.
Clancy pleaded not guilty to charges in connection to the deaths of her 3 children, Cora 5, Dawson 3 and 8-month-old Callan, in January 2023, according to the Associated Press. While Clancy has not denied killing the children, the trial is expected to determine whether she was legally responsible for her actions. Last week, prosecutors reintroduced...
So she hasn't even denied it, and she's still getting money for it. It's just a matter of she was going through postpartum psychosis or not. Because there is a difference between postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. Like, there's a difference there. I'm on the side that wants rapists and murderers and pedophiles to be hanged. I'll still call for the death penalty for this bitch, regardless if she was psychotic or not, because I'm tired of the Sandy plea being a completely abused by these NWAs whenever they do anything, or having too low IQ to do shit. Like, no. Too bad. Unless it's like extreme circumstances. I'm at the point where I don't even care about extreme circumstances, right? I am fatigued out of exceptions. Like, it's the only time it's okay to kill somebody is like in self-defense. If you're literally insane, then you should be at bare minimum locked up into an asylum, or just get the death penalty to get you off the street. And that goes to a woman too. I don't give a shit. One less foid to cause problems and apparently murder more kids.
a theory that suggested Clancy faked a suicide attempt. Prosecutors brought up internet searches made on the family computer in the months leading up to the killings, which included looking for suicide methods and searches for psychiatric medications, detox programs, psychosis, and more, as The Guardian reported. Her cell phone revealed searches on "Can you treat a sociopath?" and housed notes about depression, exhaustion, and more. One note from Clancy that was introduced as evidence on Thursday expressed concerns over her relationship with her youngest, Callan. "I want to feel love and connection with all my kids. I just want to feel happy. I want to be able to relax and take care of my kids," read the Notes app entry from October 2022 via The Guardian. And when they go to bed at night, "I want to deeply relax and hang out with Pat, and then fall into a deep sleep for 8 hours, get up and pour hard into myself for an hour and a half. Cal was so very planned and desired. I want to be able to give him all the love he desires." Another note created just prior to the killings that was modified a day before the deaths read, "Medication stole my motherhood and my life. Prescription medication stole me from my own body." Yeah, there's I see a lot of things out there like antidepressants and shit like that. They're bad. They're bad for you. I've never touched them. Won't go near them.
Guys, when you get a girl, okay, and I say when because I believe in you, make sure you hop her off SSRIs and birth control ASAP. It's going to be a lot easier said than done, because if you're just starting a relationship, she's probably going to be a bit resistant to it. It might be considered red flags. But if she actually's into you, get her off of that shit, because it literally changes your brain chemistry. It literally fries it. Literally it makes everybody into a different person. There's a risk when it comes to the birth control, and particularly, that she might not be interested in you anymore, because it does rewire what a woman's attracted to, because it does make the body think it's pregnant. It's because it's not just estrogen in birth control, it's a bunch of other female hormones as well. So there is that risk, but at least you don't have to worry about when she gets off birth control, then she gets pregnant, actually legit pregnant, then she gives birth, and then postpartum depression, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get divorced when the baby is like 6 months old, or she's trying to kill it because she's sane. So avoid them like the plague, or else they really are gonna fuck you up.
I've seen people take antidepressants and become a whole new fucking person, and then after they come off them, they're still that person. And they're just like a shadow of what they once were. Antidepressants they're fucking bad for you. Prosecutors have been arguing that Clancy acted intentionally. Meanwhile, Clancy's defense is arguing she suffered from postpartum psychosis, a relatively rare diagnosis that can cause women to develop delusions and even hallucinations, according to the National Institutes of Health. Clancy's ex-husband Patrick Clancy also supports her claim that she was not responsible for her actions. Patrick was the first witness called to testify. He spoke of her deteriorating mental health at the time of the incident, saying she kept getting worse and worse.
I don't really know actually that many details about the trial and the case. Really what got me interested in this is all the other women on TikTok's reaction to it. But based off what I have gathered, it does sound like postpartum psychosis, because I have done a little bit of research, at least into postpartum depression, because having kids is very important to me, and there are various ways to avoid it. It's not easy. The best way to avoid postpartum depression, you have to do it before you even get pregnant. You need to be off the SSRIs, off birth control, be working out in decent shape, don't be overweight, try to eat healthy, take your supplements. You need to be healthy before you even get pregnant in the first place. But it's not saying if you're unhealthy, you're going to get postpartum depression, but you're more likely to do so. And then during the pregnancy, during those 9 months, you still need to be healthy. You still need to work out, although within your capabilities, because pregnancy. You still need to watch what you eat. You need to log off completely. The women being online is horrible to their health. I mean, it's horrible to everybody's health, but when it comes to women in particular, they're very emotional creatures, and they're very easy to manipulate and very easy to cause neuroticism in them, because by default they're supposed to worry. They're supposed to care about the family and themselves and what to do next, right? The men are the risk takers, women are the risk deniers. And when you have them inundated constantly with bad news, whether that be politics, it's going to make them go a little bit crazy. So you need to get them definitely off the web, especially while they're pregnant, but ideally before then as well. And then finally, after she gave birth, this is where the real kicker comes in, because the hormonal crash that happens what after a woman gives birth, the first few days afterwards is insane. You pushed out this 6 to 8 pound, actual real human living creature here, right? It's this child and the placenta with it and everything else. And like women are made to be baby factories. They're not meant to not be pregnant. So they do have ways around it. But the hormone shift between being pregnant versus not being pregnant is a complete crash. And it will affect them disastrously. Like they will be a mess for a very long time. It takes on average about 3 to 6 months for a woman to heal after pregnancy. You cannot stop the hormonal crash no matter what. And another big important point that does not exist in the modern world is family. Family does not exist in the modern world because I know in the Western world it's more normal to, have the grandparents at least be in the same town, but not in the same household. But you're still estranged from your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, those kind of people. It wasn't until relatively recently that's really been more normal. And even then, now it's even more estranged with grandparents living in completely different states. The woman giving birth is not supposed to be alone because, yeah, the man in the modern world may get, paternity leave, but the man will have to work regardless, even without paternity leave back in the olden days. Hence why the family was supposed to be heavily involved, and the woman wasn't left alone so she can help stabilize and heal from it. The baby is still very much needs to be with his mother. Technically, it's not supposed to leave his mother for like the first 2 years of his life, but especially those first few months of being born, it is imperative they do not leave their mother's side. It will fuck them up immensely, and it will fuck up the mother too. So sending them into daycare is not the solution either. My point is, with all that kind of stuff considered here, it does sound like at the very least she had postpartum depression, and I wouldn't be surprised if she did develop postpartum psychosis, because a good chunk of women do get postpartum depression, especially in the modern age. It's increasingly common, which is a problem in itself. The psychosis part, where they go insane and start murdering their kids, that's a lot rarer, but it does happen, and it does sound like she was heading that direction, or at least pretending to be that direction. But if her ex-husband claims that her health was deteriorating over the months, then it's more than likely that she was like that. She should still get the wood chipper.
During the sixth day of trial on August 4th, Clancy spoke for the first time in court. She confirmed to Massachusetts Superior Court Judge William Sullivan that she stipulated to the facts when he asked, with her replying, "Yes, Your Honour." Clancy's agreement to stipulate meant that prosecutors no longer needed to call certain witnesses to testify about the agreed upon facts. Testimony is expected to resume Monday after the jury had a day off on Friday. Now, the strange thing about this woman is lots of women are defending her. They're defending her now, and basically they're saying that some are even claiming that she was framed by her husband and that he actually carried out the killings. But even though this has went to trial, here's all the people, and they're saying that she didn't do it and it's not her fault. Even though I've seen a tweet, and I'm just going to repeat it now. Sorry, I don't remember who posted it. The husband's saying she killed the kids. The defense are saying that she killed the kids. Her own defense lawyers are saying that she killed the kids. The prosecution's saying that she killed the kids. The police are saying that she killed the kids. And even she is saying that she killed the kids. And there are women out there saying, no, she was framed. This was a setup by her husband. Blah, 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 blah. And like all this other stuff. And basically, even though like postpartum psychosis is rare, it is a thing that does happen, but it is extremely fucking rare. And see, when you are in a period of psychosis, you are mental, nothing makes sense. You're talking fucking gibberish, which means it's a little bit hard for you to meticulously plan and calculate and carry out something like this, especially when you've got months and months of searches on your computer asking specifically about shit like that, right? As if you were looking ahead and planning it out. What is psychosis?
Oh, that's a good point. Because I was going off at, just what I do know about pregnancy and how it happens, and the fact that she killed her kids, and the husband saying her health deteriorated. But if she's been doing all these searches, oh my god, okay. I mean, I still thought she needed the wood chipper regardless of a psychosis or not. But I can see the point of this being premeditated now, and that's even more fucked up.
Psychosis, by the way. How would I need to act in order to look like I have psychosis? Like that type of shit. That looks like it's what's happening, right? And so now women are donating shit tons of money to this woman who killed her own 3 children. And I saw something on Twitter which kind of scared me a little bit. Why are so many women always rallying around these women who kill kids? And someone posted, because they see themselves in them. There are a lot of women out there who had kids and they are deeply fucking resentful about it.
That is what got me interested in this case. Her killing her kids, fucked up. She deserves a wood chipper. But it's the woman's reaction where they are so frothing out the mouth defending this horrible creature. That is what I feel like is the major problem.
They're deeply resentful about it because TV and fucking music and everything else has taught them that they should be at fucking big parties with rappers and drinking Cristal and hanging out with a girl and going to brunch and doing all of this fucking stuff. Well, all of that shit goes to the fucking wayside whenever you have children. Tough shit, sorry. For example, I love playing computer games and I love going fishing and I love going fucking hiking. And then when I fucking had kids, I still played computer games, but like maybe about 5-10% as much as I was before because hey ho, that's just what happens with kids. Now I'm not going to say that it's easy like looking after and raising kids. I have my kids half the time, right? And see lots of women out there like, being a stay-at-home mother's so fucking hard. No, the fuck it's not, you lying bunch of bastards. I'm your worst nightmare. Because I'm a single dad half the week, and then for the other half the week I'm working. See, on days I've got my kids, I'm like, oh, thank fuck. Thank fuck, I don't want to sit here doing...
I so badly want to be a mom. I so badly want to be a housewife. I've been aiming to do this since I was 19 years old. I have been trying my damnedest to get that point because I do not want to work in Jew daycare. I found Sargon at an early age, and I also had my oldest sister who I love dearly. She's basically my mom, but I've also seen how her life is gone, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And the more research I did into it, the more it made sense for both me and the children because of how many psychological benefits are there for both, let's say my own self and also the raising the kids properly. I'm not saying raising kids are easy either, but it's so much more pleasant than having to go work a 9 to 5 every day, plus the drive time and everything else. I cannot grasp this thought process of just hating being with your children. But then again, I'm not on SSRIs, and I've never once been on hormonal birth control because I did my research. I was very lucky enough to be aware of the problems of hormonal birth control at a young age, and so I didn't get on it. And I just can't imagine it.
Making channel videos and dealing with sponsors and fucking having to do shit. Do you know that 90% of what I do is actually fucking admin, paperwork and taxes? That's 90% of what I do. I'm like, are we not supposed to be a video production company? About 10% of the work is actually producing fucking videos. The rest of it is me buried at my desk in fucking paperwork, right? So basically, whenever I've got my kids, I'm like, nice. Oh, that's great. Oh, what is it? We get to sit in the living room while you guys get to watch like fucking Miss Rachel and like run around while I get to play and wrestle with you. Oh, how fucking terrible.
My only criticism is letting his kids watch Miss Rachel because she is a insidious agent that pushes for DEI and trans stuff on the kids. I would hope Dankula has done enough research to at least show whatever episodes that are actually good for his kids. But I know no one's perfect, and you don't know everything. Like Cocomelon, for example, horrible. Literally the worst TV show they actually have your little kids watch. That TV show was created out of a psych experiment that how to make kids more docile and dumbed down. And that's why there's those TikTok videos that have come out a few years ago of like as soon as the Cocomelon theme song would go off, their kids would be smiling and laughing. They immediately just completely die and stare and become very obsessive over the Cocomelon thing.
Oh my god, I have to go to the cooker and like put it on and make their dinner, and then oh my god, I have to do the dishes, and the dishes took like 10 minutes. It takes like 10 minutes. I don't have a dishwasher, right? I do them by hand the old-fashioned way. It takes like 10 fucking minutes, right? So see how women are out there like, it's so hard. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. I'm not saying it's easy, but a lot of yous that are acting like you're a fucking 12-year-old down the mines, like no, you're fucking lying.
I mean, the first year is pretty difficult, especially if you breastfeed, because the baby's gotta be joined to the hip. But there are so many ways to make things easier when it comes to after giving birth, post-birth, that a lot of women just don't do. And I'm not saying formula. Formula is extremely unhealthy for the child too. One of the main reasons why women get so fat and stay fat after pregnancy is because they don't breastfeed. because your body's producing milk naturally. You have the breasts that are ready to pump, and your body is storing all this fat on top of it for the breast milk, and the baby's supposed to drink it, but the woman's using formula instead, and so all that's just building up and never being used, which makes her really fucking fat, and then she never actually loses the weight. But if she actually breastfed, she would lose at least 20 pounds of that weight.
Right. Basically, it's really, really fucking easy. Right. However, you do get women that fucking resent it. They're like, oh, I expected my life to be this and this and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't fucking help me. That's because he's away out doing 60-hour weeks, you dumb bitch. And that's the thing is, whenever you come home from like a really hard day of work, as far as she's concerned, you've done nothing. You've done nothing that day. I've been here all day with the kids and, oh, that sounds very hard, darling. And then when you do it yourself, you're just like, you lying fucking bitch. You lying bitch. It's fucking easy.
Yep.
It's absolutely fucking easy, right? But again, I wouldn't say it's very... For me, it's easy. For me, it's really, really fucking easy. But basically, some women just snap. Some women just break. There's probably some women out there that wishes they could do, but she's just done, right?
Not to defend women here, but women are not adept for stress. They're not made to deal with high stress situation. It's supposed to be for men. Women are more neurotic in general, which is true. We do worry way too fucking much. Trust me, I know. And a lot of their expectations are self-imposed. But if they just talk and discuss and communicate with their husbands, they can find out that their husbands don't care about half the shit that they do. Men are easy, okay? Like, you just be nice to them, right? Give them kids. Give them a full stomach and empty balls. So having like a constantly clean, spotless house with not a speck of dust, and having the food cooked immediately when he gets home, having the prettiest fucking cushions on the sofa, and having the latest fucking iPhone. Those are all things that the woman creates for herself, expectations that the man just does not give a shit about. They need to get over that. They need to realize it. And a lot of women can't, because they get stuck in their own head and they don't actually communicate.
And it's just a case of, it's absolutely disgusting. Like, now, whether or not she actually had psychosis or had a mental breakdown or anything, I don't fucking know. But she is copping to the fact that she killed the kid right away, so at least there's that, right? But, I mean, everyone's going, oh, the poor woman, poor her, poor this, poor that, oh, let's do a crowdfunder for her. Poor fucking dad. Poor fucking dad. I mean, he lost his wife. I mean, she killed the kid, so fuck her, who gives a shit? But he lost his 3 fucking children, who he probably loved more than anything else in the world, right? That's what he's lost. So everybody's doing crowdfunders and all that, fucking doing, oh, this poor woman, oh, her mental health, her this, her that, blah, blah, blah. No one's giving a shit about the dad.
And no one's talking about the kids either. To live with that kind of mom is horrendous, but the one survivor of this, the husband, imagine how fucked up you would become from a situation like this. He lost everything, and he's got to deal with this 3 years later with the trial, and all the support coming out of it for her and her family. I saw a video today that apparently he's got a new wife. The fucking crazy schizos on TikTok were stalking him, and they're like, oh, look at him, baby, spending time with his new wife. Isn't it horrendous? He got a new wife. Okay, well, this happened 3 years ago. The man's allowed to move on, and he literally lost everything. In fact, kudos to that woman for being with him, because he's probably very scarred. I don't know how he can actually bounce back from that. For him, being able to trust a woman like another woman, I don't know if I could do that. I hate women enough as it is. I'm glad he's able to move on and find somebody else, and hopefully he can start again.
Not a single person is giving a fuck about the dad who's just lost his 3 kids. And that just goes in what to say. When it comes to the mental healthy men, like I've said many times in the past, no one gives a fuck.
That is 100% true. I know it was like the men's mental health month at July, June? I think it's in June, right? Because it's supposed to be during Pride Month, and the gays take it over like they do everything. I'm going to sound really bitchy here, but it's kind of the same old where people claim that it's important to them, but it's not. No one gives a shit about men's mental health, because the sad fact is men are supposed to be stoic. They're supposed to be the rock of the relationship. They're supposed to, and just the bedrock of society in general, they're supposed to be reliable. And if you're an emotional mess, you're not reliable whatsoever. You can't be trusted, and women get the ick. That's why you can't cry on women either. And that's why no one cares about it. And even men have hard times opening up to other guys. And so it's hard for other men to advocate for it too, because, well, you're not supposed to be very emotional by default. And it's sad that no one actually cares, but it's not surprising when you think about it. I wish it wasn't the case, and I do think it's a good thing to advocate for it. There's lots of issues with modern society, and a lot of it is how men are treated. Because if men were able to get jobs, be able to get degrees, be able to find a a relatively attractive, beautiful mid, you know, early 20s girl that wasn't pumped full of medications and TikTok brain rot and be able to have kids with her, it really wouldn't be so bad.